Oh, hello, hello. Is it working? Let's see what you got. Who's here? I only announced I was coming on live like 5 minutes ago, so I will give you guys an opportunity to find the stream while I'll just straighten things out because you know how I am. I didn't really get to do that before coming on because, as you can see, I have once again redone a little bit behind me. I had taken down my Freedom Liberty Bell to utilize it at one of the peaceful protests yesterday. And I had to leave the peaceful protest peacefully because I had teenagers that were being demanding. And so I left my flag with a friend of mine that was there, and I'll get it back from her at a later date. But so I put up one of my tapestries that I've been missing. Anyway, you know how I love my home decor. I used to say that this was my true crime home decor channel, and then I changed it to jewelry and yoga and what else? Politics. It's all of the above. So it's my therapy. I love it. I know that it can be a little schizophrenic to try to keep up with it at times, especially when the dogs are involved, but they're not here at the moment. So no distractions there, no puppy cams. Anyway, let's get going with everything I say is simply my opinion for the sake of hoping to start a conversation, open up a discussion, learn something, be educational. All of my videos are made for YouTube. It's an infotainment platform. It's Sunday. It's the 19th of October. And as far as I know, Virginia Giuffre's book is going to be available. I'm going to go to Barnes & Noble tomorrow and see if I can purchase it at the store. I'm sure I can purchase it online. But let's see. I was going to start out by addressing the thumbnail with the photograph of, well, two photographs. One of Donald with his girlfriend in 1998 and one of Jeffrey with his girlfriend, the same girlfriend, in 1995. So her name is Celina Mideldorf or Middledart. Let me look it up again. She was 22 when she dated Jeffrey, and he was like twice her age. And then a few years later, when she dated the Don, she was 25, and he was a little bit more than twice her age. So good for her. She got daddy complex, right? I was going, oh, you know what the last thing I looked up was? You don't even want to know. Oh my God, this is too funny. I was looking up to see what the interwebs said about neck vajayjay, because it's been such a topic. It says AI overview, neck vajayjay. I'm gonna edit there. Is a recent internet slang term with no medical meaning. It refers to the looser, sagging skin that can form on a person's neck after significant weight loss. The resulting folds of skin are said to resemble the appearance of a vajayjay, which has led to the coining of the descriptive, though anatomically inaccurate name. Too funny. While neck vajayjay is a slang term, the cosmetic concern it describes, loose skin on the neck, is a real issue that can result from weight loss or aging. And it goes on to talk about how to resolve it. And here's a question. What is a vaggie neck? OMG. Crazy. Let me drink a little bit of water and then look up this girlfriend that they shared. It is just a little bit after 9, and I'm hoping to be on for probably under an hour. So if you are on the replay crew, then thank you for being on the replay crew, and please, make some comments. I still have a couple of the tiny chicken coops. Let me grab one. I might only have this last one to give away. I sent a handful of them off yesterday to Patricia Moss, who won them. And I was sending more than one because it was like the same price to send one of these amazing, adorable little things as it costs to ship a handful of them. So I sent her a little box of 3 with some stickers as a bonus surprise. And then Anna B's, I sent a whole half a dozen because at the time it was just, I had about a dozen of them, and I thought, I can't give these away one by one and spend $8 each time I send one out. I mean, I got them dirt cheap at Menards. They were on clearance, so I had bought them thinking I would make little Christmas tree ornaments out of them, which I might. I might just keep 1 or 2. Fred Field, hola, no notification. So anybody who wants to win a tiny chicken coop, be the first one to comment in the section, the comment section after I go off of the live. And I'll try to remind people at the end. But how cute is that? I can just like set it right there. I didn't got to get my tiny chickens. No one here but us chickens. How are you, Fred? Thank you so much for saying hi. It's been a while. And yeah, I got these at your store, the store that you own. Do you guys, have you seen them there? Do you have them in the little garden section? It's like a little fairy garden gnome kind of accessory, but they were in the garden section at the one near where I live. So Celina Midelfart, I was looking her up. The one of the many women allegedly that the Don and the Jeffrey shared between themselves, which is really disgusting, but we need to talk about it more because I haven't brought it up in a long time. And I think that that's one of the things that triggered El Presidente with that whole birthday book and the birthday card that he made for Jeffrey's 50th birthday was the fact that Jeffrey was given as a birthday gift 12-year-old triplets, and Don was there, and Don was his best friend. So I don't even want to think about it. Do you not even want to think about it? That was Jean-Luc Brunel, the French version of Jeffrey, that made that birthday gift. Hideous 12-year-old triplets. Very frightening. Anyway, that whole thing is just a nightmare. Did you happen to go through or buy any of the peaceful protests, or were you in one, Fred? I'll tell you what my kids dragged me out of my peaceful protesting to do because, I'm such a good mom. Between my ton of doctors and physical therapy, YouTube time has been cut. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. How's your health, though? It sounds like you're taking really good care of yourself. And I do apologize for my difficulty speaking with my braces. I don't have wax on them today, so hopefully it won't be as difficult as it was the last time I tried to make a live with the wax on, because it's very soothing. Middle Dart, is that how you spell it? It's Celina Midelfart is how I misspelled her name. Midelfart. OMG. No wonder she dated those guys. She must have a very low self-esteem with a name like that. Mideldart is how I thought it was spelled, but it's Midelfart. I thought that, but then I was like, no way. That is sad. So At this point in time, she's 52 years old, and it says she's a Norwegian businesswoman. Let me just see what it says about her. So she dated Jeffrey in 95, and it says here, born February 12th, 1973, Norwegian cosmetics heiress and businesswoman. In 95, she took over running of the family's health and beauty care business, Midelfart AS. And let's see. In the early 90s, she came to national prominence as the girlfriend of Norway's Crown Prince Haakon. And then in 2009, she was engaged with a businessman, and the couple had their first child, Olav, while living in London in 2011, and then the couple separated. So it skips right over the people that she dated in the 90s after the prince, which allegedly Jeffrey in 95 when she was 22 and he was 44. And then Donnie in 1998 when she was 25 and Donnie was 52. So I would skip over it too, especially with all this stuff. It's funny. My IP address has been blocked from editing Wikipedia, blocked by Elton. That's hilarious because I've never edited Wikipedia, but I was just looking to see if she needed her information edited. It says block will expire in a year. Who is Elton? It says that he's a steward and administrator of MetaWiki. That is wild. Why did Elton want to block me? Why did Elton even think that I would be doing anything with editing on Wikipedia? Isn't that wild, Fred? So I'll ask you to hit your like button if you'd be so kind. Of course, of course. And then where's that sign? Turn on your notification bell to ring. There we go. Backwards. Back up. Deet, deet, deet. Notify. Share a video of mine with somebody that you think might like my channel. And make sure you're still subscribed if you are subscribed. And if you're not, please consider doing so. So yesterday when I was at one of the peaceful protests, like I said, just briefly, and then my kids were going to be going to Kings Island. My 18-year-old was taking his girlfriend and his little sister and her friend, the amusement park, and they asked me if I could go to make sure that they could get in the door with the younger kids since they're not 21. And I was like, sure. I just dropped what I was doing so that I could get them there. And then I can't remember if they've said thanks yet or not. But, I'm a mom. It's the kind of thing I do. I only saw protests on TV. Health-wise, I fatigue rapidly. Still trying to find cause and hope for remedy. Oh, no, Mr. Field. Are you probably still working because you don't have the luxury of paid time off? Because I know you have a very highly physical job, which I would think would kind of keep you healthy, but I know sometimes that type of work it's not the same as working out at a gym and relaxing and lowering your cortisol level. So I am so sorry to hear that. That is harsh. So important to feel good and especially to feel hope. Oh, what can I do to help? Do you take arnica? I know it might sound silly, but arnica is a homeopathic remedy that is like magic for helping recover from bruises and sprains and things like that, just helping your body heal. So I wonder if taking arnica might be helpful. Um, maybe like hot Epsom salt baths. Do you do that? I love hot Epsom salt baths, especially when I've been like overdoing it. Um, but yeah, I'm really sorry to hear that, Fred. That bites. It's no fun not feeling 100%. And then especially when you have to go to work. I mean, at least if you can get a paid sick day, it's no fun, but you get a paid sick day. Mm. And then with all this talk with the cutting the healthcare, and that's very depressing. Very depressing. Um, this is kind of random, but I wanted to mention this in my last video and I forgot to. As far as Erica Kirk goes, her middle name is Lane, like Lois Lane. Erica Lane Kirk. So Elk, ELK. But prior to getting married, her last name was Franz. Very weird spelling that only like 20 people in America have ever had. The Franz TZVE, I think, is the last four letters. So before she got married, her initials were Elf. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. And you could jump down some kind of crazy rabbit hole conspiracy theory with just about everything, which is not a good thing. Definitely not a good thing. I'm sure it's just a coincidence, the elf and the elk, right? It doesn't mean anything at all. But why is it? I still can't get over the fact of her being a beauty queen runner up in 2009, actually, for the Miss Colorado. That would have been for the year of 2010, but they do the competitions at the end of the year before that. So it was the end of 2009 is when she came in fourth runner-up to be Miss Colorado, and Lindsay Halligan, the attorney that was maybe erroneously appointed to her position as the highest Eastern District of Virginia position, that she was appointed into that spot so that she could file charges against James Comey and Letitia James, since her predecessor wouldn't do it, but couldn't do it because he said he couldn't find anything to press charges about. And so he got axed, or he quit, or he was fired. But we can't forget that that position, the Eastern District of Virginia, was the same position that the attorney Jessica Alber had that post up until the day that Trump was inaugurated. And then she passed away from self-unaliving in her sleep at age 43 last March, I think it was. And again, I always go back to some weird facts about that night. Was the same night that the administration was all up in New Jersey at Bedminster, and Mr. The Big E was balancing flatware on his finger for a prolonged period of time, showing off because he has no social skills and he's 50. And at Bedminster, which is the same golf course where Ivana is 6 feet under on the golf course without like landscaping or anything like that. A nice bench, some flowers, just a mowed lawn would be good. I don't think she has a headstone. I mean, pictures of it are pretty bleak. It's just like mud and dirt and really uneven grass, which, Donnie's a grass expert. So why doesn't he put some of his expert grass over her burial site? Anyway, yeah, that whole thing with her falling down the stairs and him continuing to talk about falling down the stairs lately a lot. And then his brother had passed away from falling also. I don't know if there were stairs involved, but it seemed very sus the way his brother passed away. Was that Robert? I want to say that it was like 25 years ago, but that was the same brother who went into business with him at the Trump Towers after all of his three executives passed away in that helicopter crash. And I'm sorry to be kind of randomly tying all these things together, but people don't talk about it. Anna Bees, what's up? Still working, but muscle tone diminished. I see my primary doctor Friday. Hope for his ideas. Legs and feet are like rubber after 4 hours. Dang. Oh man, that is rough, dude. Did you see on the news about the hunting blind? The hunting blind found near where AF1 parks in Florida today. No, I have no idea what you're referring to, Fred. Should I look that up? I was about to look up. What was I about to look up? The thing about Robert Trump. I think that was the brother who worked for Trump for like a month and then quit, and then 10 years later passed away kind of mysteriously. Like, they were very secretive about it. They didn't tell anybody what had happened, and he was only 71. Yeah. So the AI overview even says no official cause of death was ever publicly disclosed for Robert Trump, who died on August 15th, 2020 at the age of 71. However, several news outlets reported on unofficial information regarding his health in the days leading up to his passing. A friend told the New York Times that Robert was experiencing brain bleeds that began after a recent fall. Reports also indicated that he had been seriously ill for several months and had previously been hospitalized in the intensive care unit in June 2020. See, I find that weird because seriously ill with what? Like, I'm thinking that people are getting poisoned. That's what I'm thinking. According to CNN, Robert Trump had been on blood thinners. His niece, Mary Trump, stated in a pre-recorded interview that he had been hospitalized a couple of times in the 3 months prior to his death. But 71 is so young. His brother, Donnie, visited him in the hospital the day before he passed and told reporters that his brother was having a hard time. A private funeral service was held for him. Yeah, just like the Pope passing away the day after Vance shook his hand. One sec. Hey, go. Come on, Mookie. Oh, sorry, baby. I hit Mookie's butt with the door, and now we're going to get the little crazy one trying to come in, too. And I don't know if I can take all three of them. 2 of them is fine. That crazy little nut job. She's so adorable, though. I do love her. She just bounces around too much, and I'm afraid she'd knock everything over. So yeah, I want to check that out, Fred. Did you see the news about the hunting blind found near where AF1 parks in Florida today? AF1 parks. Air Force One. Hunting blind where Air Force One parks. I'm sorry about what you're going through, Fred. Yeah, me too, big time. I put my phone down. Let me see what this is. I'm so curious. I'll read it into my thing. Hunting blind found in Florida near where the Air Force One parks today. Yeah, that's not good. FBI and U.S. Secret Service are investigating the discovery of a suspicious hunting stand found in a tree near the Palm Beach International Airport, overlooking where President DJT's Air Force One parks. The discovery was made during advanced security preparations for his arrival in Florida over the weekend. Key details of the incident: no occupants. It was discovered Friday, it says the 17th. Ongoing investigation, the context, and yeah, that's not good at all. 2 hours ago, New York Post, Secret Service investigating possible sniper's nest. I don't take anything having to do with this topic at face value, because I think that there's a lot of street theater. Sure, it's possible that a citizen did that on their own accord, but I just think that this administration does so much street theater and tries to victimize or have the Republicans play the victim, and then tries to have the Democrats be the offenders, the attackers. And yeah, I mean, anybody can get hit like that, but it just doesn't happen that often, except for when this guy's our president. Then it's like a thing. And he's so obsessed with like JFK and RFK and Martin Luther King. Those things don't happen the way they used to. And when they do happen, it's more like the Russia style, the poison darts, the just more like spy type of stuff, like the cell phones that all blew up, or no, that was the pagers that blew up, that electronic attack. But yeah, thank you for bringing that to my attention. So did you hear about the shrapnel that was found after the explosions, the firing of military operations over Interstate 5 yesterday in California? That's not good either. I'm so depressed lately about everything. I can't believe everything that keeps happening. Annabise, I am so sorry about that. I'm sorry that it's happening, and I'm sorry that you feel depressed about it. I literally feel sick about it sometimes. And at the same time, I get kind of excited about it being so overt and so over the top, because I'm a firm believer that things have to get worse before they can get better. And so I'm excited that it's so obvious what's going on, that I think there's got to be, like, justice has got to be underfoot. There's got to be arrests coming. I mean, just with all of the illegal things that the whole administration does. And I do think a president can get arrested for treason even during their presidency. Let me ask AI. Can a sitting president get charged with treason? Can a sitting president get arrested for treason? It says basically no. Okay, they must be removed from office before facing criminal charges. Oh, how interesting. So they can be removed from office and then they can be charged. Very, very interesting. So good to know. No, I didn't hear about Interstate 5. So, yeah, I guess Midas Touch was the only channel to get the information that they were planning on this like show of force kind of military parade kind of thing. I think it was with the Navy and the Marines, Camp Pendleton in California. Simultaneously, at the same time that the peace marches were happening, the No King's Day event. And since it was only the one channel, Midas Touch, that reported on it, people were doubting that it was true. And it was actually Aaron Parnas, Lev Parnas's son. Lev Parnas used to be one of Trump's inside people. He's one of the people that did hard time for the crimes that he committed. And when he was tried and convicted, his good friend Donnie pretended that he didn't know him. So that's how that loyalty works, right? Anyway, it was a wake-up call for Lev when he did hard time, and his son Aaron was also a good wake-up call for him. Aaron is like a far left Democrat political commentator, kind of like the Charlie Kirk of the Democrats, maybe. He's really good. I really like him. Anyway, so Lev now has his own channel. You guys have heard me talk about Lev Parnas. So Aaron Parnas was the person who reported on the event that that the administration was planning, the military event during the No King's Day, and people didn't believe him. They didn't believe the Midas Touch platform. They didn't believe Aaron, and then it did occur, and it was like a major faux pas with the shrapnel. Let me see what it says about it so I can tell you a little bit more specific. If he could, the Supreme Court would make it so they couldn't charge him. Oh, I know. But even his buddies on the Supreme Court are kind of done with him, because they all will get charged someday, I believe. And that day is getting closer as every day passes. I await ICE sending me back to England, where my ancestors are from. Yes. Well, and I don't know if they'd have better health care there. I mean, if you went to Norway, they'd have the good health care. What was I going to ask about yesterday's incident? What happened with the shrapnel that exploded over Interstate 5 in California during the No Kings event yesterday? Military row over planned live artillery. Let's see. During a U.S. Marine Corps 250th anniversary celebration on October 18th, yesterday, 2025, an artillery shell fired during a live fire demonstration at Camp Pendleton prematurely exploded over Interstate 5 in California. The live ammunition exercise, which was attended by Vice President J.D. Vance, rained metal shrapnel down onto the freeway and struck a California Highway Patrol vehicle and motorcycle. Oh, I did not know that part. I'm so glad I looked this up. But it says no injuries were reported. The CHP had already closed off a 17-mile stretch of the freeway for safety reasons, which likely prevented casualties from the blast. OMG. Ah, OMG. The closure was done out of an abundance of caution, overriding initial Marine Corps assurances that the highway could remain open. Good call, Governor Newsom. Shrapnel impact, according to the CHP, an explosive ordnance detonated overhead from White's Beach at approximately 1:46 p.m. Shrapnel struck a patrol vehicle, leaving a dent, and a motorcycle that was part of the vice president's protective detail. Whoa. Like, what if? What if? Firing was suspended after being notified by CHP officers. The Marines immediately suspended any further live artillery fire over the freeway. Governor's reaction: Governor Gavin Newsom ordered the closure of the freeway ahead of the event, despite objections from the White House. Why would the White House object to that? That is effing nuts. Which sought to keep it open. Newsom later posted on X criticizing the reckless behavior of the administration. Well, it's almost like they wanted something to happen. Military investigation. The Marine Corps is investigating the cause of the premature detonation and stated they are committing to applying their findings to prevent future incidents. Well, right. Was it an accident or was it intentional premature detonation? The specific reference to a shrapnel appears to be a misunderstanding of the incident involving, I think it thinks I said shrapnel because of my braces. Yeah, when I said shrapnel. It sounds fishy, doesn't it? Everything sounds fishy. The fact that they were secretly planning this celebration suddenly on October 18th, when I think like the 250th year of the military celebration is like planned, or for the Marines, because we know that they did that 250-year thing on Don's birthday on June 14th of this year. And then there's going to be more. When is the 250th anniversary of our military celebration planned? Well, the Army was already, that was this last June 14th. And then let's see, specific Navy celebrations on October 11th, 2025 in Philadelphia. And then the Marine Corps celebration in Philly on November 10th, 2025. So, yeah, that's really weird that all of a sudden they had things in California. That doesn't make any sense. The Marine Corps' 250th birthday celebration scheduled for November 10th, 2025 in Philly. The Navy's celebration was scheduled for October 11th, 2025 along the Delaware River in Philly. So, yeah, I mean, so just planning it was suspicious enough. So, yeah, they're going to have to investigate the whole thing. But then to try to resist when, I mean, to me, it was a no-brainer that they'd shut down parts of the I-5 corridor with the explosions anywhere near there. But I thought that's going to be a traffic nightmare in Southern California, where it's a traffic nightmare already. And so then the fact that the White House didn't want them to shut it down, you could say that there could be an argument for the traffic, but it's like safety first, obviously. So that's just freaking nuts. That's absolutely nuts. Um, and ironic that it was the security detail of the vice president that was hit. But then they could try again. They could try to say, "Oh, well, the Democratic military people must have done that on purpose," right? Seriously, that's what they try to do. Anna Bees, did you get your chicken coops yet? Have they arrived? I still have the receipt, so once you can let me know that you've received them, then I can throw the receipt away for the shipping, just to make sure. Um, so do you guys remember this whole thing with Chorus is a organization of Democratic supporters for YouTube channels. It's called Chorus, and they fund content creators, I think up to like $8,000 a month, if the content creators will put content out there supporting their democratic philosophies or ideas. And I think some of the channels that may or may not accept money from Chorus, some of these people are involved with it in that they are the ones giving the money, that they're part of Chorus. I think it's David Pakman, Jack Cocchiarella, Brian Taylor Cohen. I think Brian Taylor Cohen is one of the people that puts money into it, not that takes money out. And then the other ones, I don't want to say for sure that they're part of it, but I know that there was a lot of scuttlebutt about it recently. Taylor Lorenzo did this big cutting edge thing a few weeks ago or months ago now, where it was like, oh, this thing Chorus, where they're trying to get the Democrats to say all the things that they want them to say, and they're paying them $8,000 a month, which, you know, in YouTube money, that's not very much money. I mean, I think it's a lot of money personally. I think it's a ton of money, but you know, when you think about like Charlie Kirk getting offered allegedly $150 million more to continue to support the country that starts with an I, who the Prime Minister, Bibi, that guy, and that allegedly a lot of content creators can get paid $100,000 per video that they make about the Republican ideals, allegedly. So, you know, it's big money, very, very different. Anyway, the thing that I wanted to bring up about Chorus that upset me, because, you know, I tried to stay out of it. I tried to not even pay too much attention to the whole argument, because it's like, yeah, people accept money for, you know, promoting products or whatever. And I think that that's okay, but that you need to be upfront about it. If you're a channel that is accepting money from Chorus, just tell your viewers that you're accepting money from Chorus, and so they know that it's not just you and your ideas that that you're specifically being promoted or being paid to promote specific ideas or ideals. But it came to me just over the weekend that when the election happened on November last year, and immediately when it became abundantly clear which direction the results were headed, And all of those channels that I just mentioned were all just like so sad and deeply disturbed and depressed about it. And they all went into this rant for weeks. Like I unsubbed all of them and I quit watching all of them. I was just like, this is bullshit. Like and I didn't know anything about the whole chorus thing, but because they were all like reading from the same script, and that's what I'm getting at. That's why I brought it up, because they were all saying there's no way that there was any interference with our election, that there's no possibility of an election interference. It can't happen. I remember specifically Pac-Man talking about it. David Pac-Man, or was it the other one? Was it the Brian Cohen? It was one of those two. So sorry, I don't want to misrepresent. But they were basically saying the same thing. One of them was saying how they specifically had worked up close with all of this stuff. I think it was actually the Brian Cohen was the one who was saying that, you know, he had worked with election tabulators and he had worked with election regulators and he had worked with election certification and he had worked with election hygiene, and there was no way it was possible for any of them to interfere. Lo and behold, that was before I knew the whole thing about that guy, the IT guru Michael. If I just say that, AI knows exactly who I'm talking about. Conley, IT guru Michael Conley died in plane crash in 2008. See, if it all it caught was IT guru Michael, and I think it'll tell me. Yeah, Michael Connell. It comes right up. Connell. So he passed away December 19th, 2008. He was a high-level Republican consultant who was subpoenaed by my friend, whose name I can't remember. He's got a hard name to say. It might even say it in here. That's hilarious. I'm like blanking on his name right now. Subpoenaed in a case regarding the tampering with the 2004 presidential election. Connell was killed in a plane that he was flying, crashed on December 19th, 2008. And dang it, I want to remember the attorney. I'll just ask it. The attorney who deposed Michael Connell days before his death. Wonderful attorney. This says Cliff Arnbeck, but it's a different one that I was thinking of. He also has worked on the Epstein stuff, and I'm totally blanking on his name. The owner of the Columbus Free Press. Bob Fitrakis. See, he has a funny last name, Fitrakis. He's the current editor and has been involved with the publication since 1992. So Bob Fitrakis. I love his last name. I just have trouble saying it. He worked on the depositions with that Arnbeck guy to try to get Michael Connell to admit who was involved with the scam of hijacking the election, the 2004 election. And it's believed that Michael had his plane tampered with because he wasn't succumbing to the pressure of taking the fall and saying that he did it all by his lonesome. So anyway, back to this more current election that we're suffering from right now, these bogus results. I honestly have never, ever, ever believed that there were as many votes as it required to win this last election. Of course, there are people who voted for the Trumpster fire, or Tenacious D, as I call him more recently. But for the most part, his supporters were embarrassed that they were ever supporters of his. And this New York Nadia, this channel that I'm kind of new to, that I really like, that I've shared with you guys a couple of times, she made a video today. I will link it up right now as we speak. Or her channel now is called Nadia for Real. Let's see. It was a Trump supporter and kind of still is. Nadia for Real. And she made this video today titled Dear President Trump, a letter from an ex-MAGA patriot 7 hours ago. And it was really good. I am linking it up in my description right now as we speak. And let me just focus on that for a second so I don't lose track of what it is that I'm doing. Because that's embarrassing and annoying. Nadia for Real. She's very eloquent in how she addresses this letter to the president, knowing that he'll probably never see it, but thinking that, of course, there's an outside chance that he might. And her channel is not that big, but I think she's got quite a resume of, I think she's got a wide reach, like on other platforms. Her YouTube channel isn't that big. But anyway, it's linked up in the description now as we speak. I really like the Taylor Swift video you posted. Thanks for bringing that up. What do you think of the spoof videos Little T made wearing a crown to make fun of the protesters? Oh, Fred, I'm so glad you brought that up too. Okay, you guys are awesome. That's why I need you here. It's just so much more fun to interact than it is to when I first started doing YouTube, I would script my videos and I would rehearse them like 2 or 3 times. And I thought that's what I had to do. And then people were asking me to go live. And it took a while for me to feel comfortable going live. But now I love it. It's like the only way I want to present information. I try to push myself to make videos sometimes without you guys. And sometimes I don't have anyone in my live chat. That happens once in a while. And so I'm stuck with just me and my notes, which is fine. But it's so much better when you're here to remind me of these things. So I posted a video yesterday on my community post that is phenomenal. And it's from Facebook. And it was hard to post from Facebook onto my community posts. I will try to link it up in the description of this too. And so it's this Facebook channel. Let's see if I go to it. I can tell you the name of it. Michael Dare, Dare. And I think the title of it is To the Top with a Bullet. And it's like a Alice in Wonderland. I thought it was kind of Wizard of Oz too. It is. It's a hybrid. It's brilliant. It's so good. It's a hybrid of Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland. And let me see if I can show you. Oh, it's just gross. The photos. Can I show you this? Yeah. This is a still shot of RFK Jr. with like snakes coming out of his ears, and he's, oh, it's so gross. But let me see if I can, can show it better like this. So he's like the Cheshire cat or the caterpillar, and actually it's supposed to be representing the worms coming out of his ears, but they kind of look more like eels or snakes. Do you see that? There, you kind of can see. Sorry for my ridiculous lack of technical wizardry. Um, so yeah, this Michael Dare, I stay off of Facebook entirely, but for some reason I was peeking at it, which I don't even peek at it because once I do, I'm never off of it again. But I was happy that I found this. Very happy that I found this. And so the video is basically just about like release the damn files already. And then Fred says, what do you think of the spoof video Little T made wearing a crown to make fun of the protesters? And it was gross. And I was going to play it actually. So let me see if I can pull it up and play it. Of course, I'll have to stop it at a few places to comment for fair use regulations, but let me see if I can pull that up. It's horrible. Anybody who saw it, it's just nasty. And this is our president making AI videos when he really needs to focus on world peace, in my humble conspiracy theory opinion, allegedly, because his freaking peace plan isn't panning out at all. Artificial intelligence video Trump made of poop all over the protesters for No Kings. He's so juvenile. It's just insane. It's absolutely insane. Let me see. So it's just how long was the video? Because it's got like the 21-second video, 3-minute video, 8-minute video. But I just want I want to see if I can find the whole thing. Is it 8 minutes long? He made an 8-minute video? That's insane if it's that long. Like, I don't know if it is or not, but let me try. Select all, copy, and so the CNN has 8 minutes, but I don't know if it's like 2 minutes, like the Sun has 2 minutes. I want the actual video. I want the whole thing to watch it with you guys. So bear with me. I mean, that freaking Grim Reaper video that he did of himself a couple of weeks ago. Have you guys seen that? Let's play that real quick. There's only one meat steak I trust for ridiculous. My family, and it's the one we make at Paleo Valley. What if I told you? Have you guys seen this one? This was his last AI video that I know of. That's him as the Grim Reaper. There he is. He made this. It's like, is he trying to scare everybody? Or does he just want to be a rock star? Yeah, there's Vance on the drums. Give me an effing break. he had to change the music. He had to change the music because he initially used like Metallica and they weren't having it. He's a really bizarre dude. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find the whole video. Maybe I'll just play part of it. Man, there's so much bullcrap on YouTube and on the internet. We have to be so careful of what we consume. But man, the comedy is the best. And I told you guys in one of my last videos, I linked up in the description this channel that I'm new to called Have I Got News for You? And it's just brilliant. These people, I mean, all you can do is like laugh and cry about this crap. So I think it's healthy to do both. Let's see. Where is... should we try to watch the 8-minute one on CNN? Or maybe just like the 3-minute? How about the Independent? I'll just go with the Independent. It's like 44 seconds. But I don't know. Maybe the Sun. The Sun has a 2-minute one. It's annoying that I can't find the whole video. Let's see. The whole video.
This spray takes 15 minutes and it protects your car for 8 months. Sounds like a scam, right? But watch the...
This is just a part of it, I think. I don't think this is the whole thing. So that's the fighter jet dropping poop on all of the No Kings Parade people. The peaceful protesters just shitting on him. And then putting on his freaking crown. Yeah, like that's not going to backfire, you freak. OMG, what a weird douchebag and a half. People kneeling to him. I hope those are the flying monkeys. That is too bizarre. Yeah, that's just a part of it. I'll set that down and read your comments here. Yeah, you didn't see the Grim Reaper video. I mean, this man he's suffering mental illness extensively and physical illness as well. But it does blow my mind and break my heart that we are at the point where we are at as a country. Like, how on earth did this mess happen? And the answer in my mind is Daddy Vladdy and also BB. That's the answer. And then, of course, their asset, Donnie. I really can't stand him. I can only listen to you talk about him. I can't even watch comedy about him. I get it, Anna. I'm the same way. I can't stand watching him. I can't stand watching Caroline Levitt. I can't stand listening to J.D. Vance, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi. These people are morons. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons I like to watch Hal Sparks, because he'll go through like an entire painful video of their crap, but he'll stop and tear it up the whole way through. And so that way I can get the full picture, but with comedy and commentary. And Hal is extremely well educated about history and politics and war. He's a comedian by trade, but he is. He says he's going to run for president in 2028. Of course, he doesn't expect to win, but he says he's going to do it on his own dime. I love him. I mean, sometimes I don't, but that's just human nature. It's okay to not love someone all the time. Oh man, I mean, we can get sick of ourselves, right? We can get sick of anybody if we overdo it. But yeah, I'm with you 100% on not being able to watch. Sometimes that's why I like Mary Trump, because she will only play her uncle's voice at like speed and a half or double speed, so he sounds like a freaking cartoon character, which he is. He's a cartoon character. All of this division is hurting my psyche. It is hurting the psyche, and I think it's important to both focus on that, identify that, own it, and address it, and sometimes just step away and focus on the priorities in your life, yourself, your health, the people around you, your job, your home, the simple pleasures of life. And going to something like a No King's March is a very positive experience. Like, everybody there is positive. People aren't angry and violent. Everybody is in a good mood because they're surrounded by like-minded people. Overall, in my experience. I will be off of here in about 10 minutes to rest up for having my head examined tomorrow. Dentist, LOL. Well, good that you're taking care of your teeth too, Fred. That's so important. Sunday and Monday are my weekend. So yeah, thanks for letting me know. And I'm just going to wrap up shortly too. My notebooks keep falling. Where'd they go? I've just got my tiny notebooks, but I've got some ideas that I know I wanted to share with you guys. Like all those racist texts from before the weekend that the young Republicans got busted for, and then the Republican Party said, yeah, they need to step down from their positions, which, that's kind of a no-brainer. But then the vice president trying to defend them by saying, well, they're just bad jokes, and they're just kids making stupid jokes, and kids shouldn't be held accountable for making bad jokes, off color, in poor taste, offensive. Yeah, I hate to think that I could live in a world where that would be held against somebody. All that crap. First of all, these are not kids; these are adults. Second of all, it's sort of like the boys will be boys kind of attitude, which I've already heard that before from our dear leader's wife during the 2016 election when the Kit Kat grabbing audio came out. And she said, oh, it's just like boys will be boys. He's just like a bad adolescent kind of thing. And the person interviewing her was like, you do know he's like in his 60s, right? Because this was 9 years ago. Oh, he was 70. You do know that he's fully grown, right? She was like, yeah, but he acts like he's 12. Like, and she starts talking about Barron and how her son is like one kid that she has to raise, and then the 70-year-old grandpa who's his dad is the other adolescent boy she has to raise. Ridiculous. So the declassified or the classified files that were in the Mar-a-Lago bathroom with the golden toilet, do you think those were all the Epstein files? Because that's what I'm thinking. Because it was a whole lot of files, and he had nowhere to put them except his bathroom. And why would he have held on to these files? I'm thinking that the bulk of them, if not all of them, was the Epstein files. It's ridiculous. And let's see, my other book. So his son, Eric, I caught a clip of him on a Keith Edwards video today where Eric's being interviewed, sorry, Freudian slip, being investigated. I'm sure that too. He's being interviewed by Caitlin Collins from MSNBC. I think that's who she's with. Or no, she's with CNN, right? Caitlin Collins. I think she's with CNN. She's great. She's really good and drives Donnie crazy, drives Caroline with a K crazy. Let's see who she's with. Caitlin Collins News. Yeah, she's CNN anchor. So she's interviewing Eric, and he says that he's happy his dad says he's a good boy. He literally says this. I'm going to link up the Keith Edwards video in the description. It's just like a 5-minute video. I'm happy that my dad says that I'm a good boy. And then he says, I am a good boy. It's just like, dude, aren't you 40 or something? OMG. Could you be any more ridiculous? Eric Trump says he's a good boy. Oh my goodness. So the Bulwark covered it as well. It's from the last couple of days. Eric Trump explains his father's hot mic moment with the Indonesian president. I guess that's when he said, I am a good boy. Or he said, Eric is a good boy. And then Eric is so happy to be talking about it. That is just nuts. How old is he again? Eric Trump. Eric Trump. He's got to be like 45 or something. Oh, no, he's only 41. Okay. He is a good boy. But, man, he's butt ugly as hell. I'm joking. He's a naughty boy. He's a disgusting piece of crap. He's the one who is married to that weirdo Laura. Is her name Laura Trump? The one that's like a Fox newscaster? She's wackadoodle. Let me see. His wife. Yeah, Laura Trump. They got married 11 years ago. And then I think they have like 3 kids or something. But you got to remember, Ivana is his mother. If these kids of Ivana don't realize what happened to her the day before the 3 depositions were scheduled, and he wasn't even one of them. It was only Ivanka, Tenacious D, and Tenacious D Jr. that were scheduled for the depositions. But if they don't realize the coinky-dink of Ivana's fatal fall the day before the depositions were scheduled, that's absurd. That is absolutely absurd. They have to be able to see that. I mean, I know denial's not just a river in Egypt, but still. Dexter has been loving his half-day doggy daycare that I take him to every 2 to 3 weeks. I asked the reception girl how he did last time. She said he joined another large dog to do laps. Oh, how cute. And yeah, Anna B says, thinking yes about the files. I know I had never really thought about what files were in the Mar-a-Lago bathroom. And I think I've heard other people say that a couple of times and have just kind of not given it much thought. Like, yeah, that was the Epstein files. But yeah, it probably was. But why wouldn't he have destroyed them? Probably because I'm answering my own question. Probably because he's using them for blackmail every damn day of his life. against people like Daddy Vladdy and BB and RFK Jr. and Jizz. He's going to get Jizz out of jail, and that's not going to go well. I think he's going to pardon her or commute her sentence because he just does whatever he wants. He doesn't care. He likes to piss people off, own the libs. But what I wanted to say too is another channel that I've been really enjoying, and this guy is super smart and he's really serious, and he's also a comedian and he's funny AF. Do you guys know Reese Waters? I've been loving his jam lately. But I was watching a video last night of his where he kept talking about how dumb people are these days. And then he's like, oh, yeah, that's why Linda McMahon needed the A1 sauce back in the schools. And I was just like, man, that's freaking brilliant. He good. He really good. I think that's about it. But yeah, just that crap about the election can't be tampered with. I mean, it's abundantly clear that if there's a will, there's a way. And when you've got computer hackers and when you've got like all these IT billionaires, of course there's going to be ways to do that. Oh, and in the last couple of days, there was like some signal that Elon, the big E, his company was emitting from the satellites that could interfere with things like that. That's why I had it on my mind. Let's see. Illegal satellite signal Elon Musk's company has been emitting. Not SpaceX, but another company. And not Starlink. I don't think it was Starlink or SpaceX, but this was just over the last few days. Let's see. I thought it was in the last few days. The last few days. The last few days. Recently. He's admitted to issues with Starlink satellite internet terminals being used illegally through black market sales and unauthorized use by entities like Russian forces in Ukraine. These illicit activities include using terminals in country where SpaceX has no service agreement and in conflict zones, often after the equipment is smuggled and activated using foreign identities. SpaceX has been reportedly cooperating with governments to try to shut down these unauthorized services. Yeah, I'll have to do more research on this. It's not giving me real current information. That's weird, but that could be by design too. Like maybe they are trying to suppress the information. Maybe. I don't know. Just another wild conspiracy theory, right? So good night, Fred. Oh, message retracted. That might have been accidental. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign off, you guys. Thanks so much for coming in and saying hi. And hopefully you'll get your package right away. Oh, I sent you an article on your email. Very cool. I would look it up right now, but I have to look at my email on my laptop rather than my phone. And then, well, maybe I'll just go ahead and do that. Let's see. it'll just make my face like wash out. See, there we go. It all washes out. But it looks like an article. And thank you for that. Thank you in advance. Just saw this on YouTube. So it's a YouTube video, or is it an article? I'm going to go ahead and maybe I'll just link it up. Save link, copy link address, and then I guess I don't want to hit play. I want to put it in. I'll put it in the description as soon as I wrap up. This was your first live or video I've seen for a couple of weeks other than yoga videos. Well, I've been doing them, but I have been doing them more sporadically, Fred. I have maybe done at least 2 lives a week for the last couple of weeks. But yeah, I've been missing them. And I'll explain more why in the next video. Good night. Yeah, it's just like all this stupid life crap getting in the way, you know how it is. I can't have any of that. I gotta get everything out of my way, so all I do is YouTube. Just kidding. It's tough to have a balance. But anyway, I'm gonna link up the thing that Anna sent me as I log off of here. So good night, sleep tight, and thanks again for being here, you guys. Sending you love.